Next one says, ladies, I'm being so for real when I say this. It's time to close off your wombs to the males. This election proves now more than ever that they hate us and hate us proudly. Do not reward them. And one more says, what is the 4B movement? A world without men. The 4B movement is a protest against the patriarchy where you abstain from sex with men as a woman, you abstain from childbirth, you abstain from marriage.
Do you understand that you would need the opposite sex in order to continue? Why am I explaining it? Hello, and welcome back to another episode here on The Bridge Reacts, and I'm your host here on the channel, Marcus. Thank you for stopping by to see another episode here on The Bridge. We're talking about good things, we're talking about great things, we're talking about positive things as well. Here on The Bridge, we're trying to decrease the divorce rate, add into long-lasting relationships, marriages, trying to do better for the community, our working force, and stronger working class as well. If you like what we talk about here on the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like button as well. Welcome to The Bridge. Last episode, we were talking about the outcome of the election and how that has divided the country even further, unfortunately. Momentarily, I'm sure it will all shape out like it always does. But here, we're going to just talk about the last election type of, video, because I'm sure we're all tired about, talking about it. I'm sure you're tired of hearing about it, even though you clicked the video. A lot of women are in outrage because of the results of the election. And there's a whole movement that is coming about this, and let's see how long this lasts. But here, who is going to talk about this is Miss Amala on YouTube, and we've watched a lot of her videos before. Please check out the original content creator in her video, Women Are Giving Up Men After Trump's Win. Let's go ahead and have fun with this last one, talking about the election and election results, and let's get straight to it.
Yes, ladies, Trump came through in this election. He will be the 47th president of the United States, and leftist ladies are not taking this well whatsoever. In response to his win, they say they are cutting off all of their intimate relationships with men. Let me get this right. A conservative wins the presidency, and you respond by being more conservative? The math isn't mathing, but we're gonna talk about it today. I'm gonna read you some tweets that leftist women are putting out in the wake of this news. They're pretty interesting here. This one says, ladies, we need to start considering the 4B movement like the women in South Korea and give America a severely sharp birth rate decline. No marriage, no childbirth, no dating men, no sex with men. We can't let these men have the last laugh. We need to bite back.
Okay, pause it here for just a second. Okay, I'm starting to sweat. It's getting hot in here. I guess the pressure is really taking over. It might have worked in South Korea, I'd imagine, but potentially, I have no idea. But American women, like westernized American women, I thought they were the most sexually active, like, ladies on the planet are actually in the West, or like in America. So it's like, that's just, it's an interesting duality there. If you're gonna really stand up and like hold yourself accountable, you and your fellow ladies, to not be with men, or be around men, or entertain men, or be with men, or anything like that. So
next one says, ladies, I'm being so for real when I say this. It's time to close off your wombs to the males. This election proves now more than ever that they hate us and hate us proudly. Do not reward them. And one more says, what is the 4B movement? A world without men. The 4B movement is a protest against the patriarchy where you abstain from sex with men as a woman, you abstain from childbirth, you abstain from marriage.
Do you understand that you would need the opposite sex in order to continue? Why am I explaining it?
You abstain from romance. If they want to take over our bodies, don't let them have it. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the 4B movement, it is a movement that gets its roots in Korea. Korean women decided we are not going to be engaging with men. No dating, no sex, no marriage, and no childbirth especially. Now, in Korea, these 4 words, or at least the 4 words for these actions, start with the letter B, hence the 4B movement. Yes, American women are taking that on in Trump's America because they're scared about their rights being taken away, specifically their right to abortion. And this is sort of retribution for the fact that many men voted for Donald Trump. They're common phrase.
Again, women also voted for Donald Trump. This is not a battle of the thing. That's the stupid part about this. Is just dumb. First of all, I mean, I'm trying to be nice, and let's use, let's choose love and not violence here. But this is stupid. This is awful. This is a terrible idea. It's not going to work. And if anything, you're just spraying repellent, like men repellent all over your body for the same type of women that men with more conservative values or ideologies, whatever, would never go for anyways in the first place. So it's like you're just drawing a line in the sand and then probably isolating yourself from doing the thing, right? Having kids, having a great relationship with a man that, you know, respects you, loves you, and being married, having kids, whatever, starting a family. You're just making those odds less. Like by doing stuff like this, it doesn't make sense. You're just nuking yourself. I don't understand it.
This is, of course, my body, my choice, and they feel like the choice of abortion has been taken away from them, even though it hasn't, and we'll explain that in just a moment. So their new choice is not to be in intimate relationships with men. Now, of course, many women are explaining what they're doing here and why they're doing here, so we're gonna move over to TikTok to allow some of these women to make their claim and tell you what they're gonna do. Let's watch.
All I have to say is good luck getting laid. Especially in Florida, because me and my girlies are participating in the 4B movement. That's my next plan. And I'm dead serious.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think about this and be logical about it. If you're a woman who is truly scared about your ability to have an in Florida, I believe the cutoff is going to be at 6 weeks, and a lot of people don't necessarily recognize that they're pregnant before the 6-week point, so that could be a valid concern for a lot of women. Then yeah, maybe you want to think a little bit before getting pregnant. It's almost like we've been trying to tell you this the whole time. And yes, if you're trying to prevent an unplanned pregnancy, the best thing you can do is not run around having reckless sex with men. So I think this is a win for all involved, including the men who are gonna have maybe some bad luck getting laid out there. And even then, I don't know if it's true. Are the men who voted for Trump even looking to engage with women like?
That's what I'm saying. Like individuals who have, again, more conservative values or the way the conservative mindset, and they want to have wife, family, children, maybe not a trad wife per se, but they would rather be more providers and then have the woman not have as much to worry about. They wouldn't pick women like these women who are saying these things in the first place. So it's like, what are you doing? Like, it doesn't make any sense. The type of men that would go for these women are the same men who would have voted for Kamala Harris in the first place, I'd imagine, right? Those type of men, right? So if anything, you're only like nuking your own camp. You are turning against the men who are actually showing up for you. That is the funny part about this. You're going to create more conservative men, I think, is what you're doing by doing this. You're not benefiting yourself or society by doing this. Or you are benefiting society, but just not yourself, is what I'm saying.
This in the first place. So really, you're only going to be cutting off your leftist allies who probably voted for Kamala Harris. But if it's all in a plan to not...
Did not watch this video in its entirety before doing this, but literally we're on the same wavelength, Amala.
Have an unplanned pregnancy, then you're doing the right thing. Let's watch another one.
If you thought you were involuntarily celibate before, wait until you see what women are like when they realize that having one of your babies could cost them their life. Oh, you definitely won't be getting any. And you know what?
Women have died in the process of childbirth for like forever. There was always a risk of something happening, you know, during childbirth. That isn't...
It's what you deserve. Now these women can focus on their careers. They can focus on their female friendships. You already hate the fact that there are rich aunties out there, child-free and happy. You just made even more of them. You said you were going to get your passport, but you didn't do that. You said there's no need. You can change the laws right here. Good luck with that, because these women aren't risking it. But shout out to the child-free women who are really appreciating the life that they're living, where they're not with a man who thinks that everything that has to do with that child is your responsibility. You thought that you were really going to stick it to women, but what you really did was you're going to let them realize how amazing life is for some of them without children. Some of your genes do need to die off. So I know you wanted a legacy. You wanted a little...
That was a really ironic statement.
Mini-me to be as mediocre as you are. Now you won't even get that.
I don't know. I'm really confused with the logic here. The men that would have voted for Donald Trump, I don't think are trying to procreate with these kinds of women anyways.
That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know that they're functioning at a loss at any point in this whole equation. And
society is gaining from this, but you're not benefiting from it if you're one of those ladies who are trying to do this thing. And how long would it last? Again, I'm going to get into my final thoughts in a second. Let Amala finish up.
She mentions people who are incels, involuntarily celibate, and saying now you're going to be even more involuntarily celibate. I mean, Again, I don't think they were jumping out of their inceldom to have sex with these women anyways.
Nope.
In fact, a lot of the women in these categories who are making these videos are probably in the childless category on their own choices alone before any of this was taking place. So I'm not really sure what's changing here. All it is that's being communicated to me is that I'm a woman who would have had reckless before, and now I'm not going to do it anymore, which sounds like a net positive on society, and it doesn't sound like it changes all that much, except now in states where I guess really abortion is going to be available to you. We'll talk about whether or not abortion is going to change in certain areas or not. There's going to be less need for that because you guys aren't having sex with Ben anymore. I'm waiting for somebody to really make a claim that hits for me, that makes me feel like you guys are doing something to really stick it to the man. All it sounds like you're doing now is just something really positive for your life. I mean, the less bodies you can take on in your young adulthood as a woman, and the more you wait and work to build trustworthy relationships with men or women or whoever it is that you're interested in these days, the better for your life. And I do also find it hard to believe.
Be less trauma for you and your mental, your health, all that stuff, because it's like, you know, you're saving yourself for someone who is much more of a better candidate for a life partner in the long term. Let's get to my final thoughts. The video's getting a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. Big shout out to Miss Amla. My final thoughts, right? You're not hurting anyone else but yourself. And I think real women, actual real free thinking women who can think for themselves and they know who they are, they're not going to fall for this. They're not going to fall for the whole let's rile up all the women and the masses and get them to really stick it to the men and show them that we can blah blah blah. Like, it's not going to work. This is not what it was before. It's not going to work. And again, I feel for these ladies at the end of the day. I think this is just, it's sad at the end of the day. It's not something we should make fun of. We like to have fun here on the channel, you know, but it is some kind of like, I guess, a sickness to a degree. It's not a great thing to think that you can just try to punish a whole gender or a whole other side of humanity and potentially really weaken humanity in the population just because someone was elected as the president of the United States. And it doesn't make sense to me. I don't see how that's going to work. Or maybe you can tell me in the comment section and give me your thoughts on this as well. But I don't understand it, and maybe this is just one of those problems that fixes themselves, you know. And when it comes to the whole like and everything like that, I'm not gonna get super far into that topic because the video is almost over. But I would hope the president of the United States is going to leave it up to these states and not trying to control the entire nation with a yay or nay kind of thing. I don't think that's fair because we are United States. There's many different locations, many different states, different rules and regulations. And if you feel as though you have that quote unquote right taken away from you, because, you know, men don't have that right. You have a bonus right in that case. Technically, if being real, being honest, men don't have that right. So this is a extra bonus right for you. If you feel like it's being taken away, maybe move to one of those states where you can have your bonus right back. I don't know what to tell you. So, but you can tell me once again, final thoughts in the comment section, and let's try to communicate with love and compassion to the ladies who are talking about this topic and this 4B movement, B4, bingo, whatever. And you can also be pretty compassionate when you're, you know, in the comment section with positive discourse between each other, myself. This is all about just having a conversation, bringing awareness to it, and what we can do to be better, because these ladies are probably, and deep down inside, probably want to have some kind of family one day, maybe some, you know, kids with a great man that really appreciates them, loves them, takes care of them, and, you know, just wants to have that family dynamic. Ultimately, I'd imagine a lot of ladies truly actually do want that deep down inside, even if they say they don't want that. I'd imagine so, but I could be wrong. So anyways, you guys have a nice one. Please hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and like button as well if you like what we talk about here on the channel, and I'll catch you on the next video. See you.